Most Barndominium builders get instant loan denials because they walk into their bank and ask for a traditional mortgage. Big mistake. Here's what they don't tell you. In 2026, Barndominium financing isn't about convincing one lender to say yes. It's about using the right loan structure that makes approval automatic. Today, I'm breaking down the exact construction to permanent loan strategies that are getting Barndominiums funded right now, the appraisal tricks that prevent your loan from getting killed, and the specific lenders that actually understand metal buildings. By the end of this video, you'll know more about Barndominium financing than most loan officers. Let's get into it. Before we dive deep, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button right now. This channel is all about giving you the honest truth about alternative housing, and I drop new videos every week with real numbers and strategies you won't find anywhere else. All right, let's talk money. Why traditional lenders say no. Let's start with why you're getting rejected. When you walk into a big national bank and say you want to build Barndominium, here's what happens in the loan officer's head. They're thinking comparable sales. Traditional lenders need to find 3 to 5 similar properties that sold recently in your area to justify the loan amount. If you're building the only Barndominium in a neighborhood full of stick-built ranch homes, they can't establish market value. No comps equals no loan. It's that simple. The second issue is construction risk. Banks see Barndominiums as non-traditional construction, which in their world means higher risk. They're worried about resale value. They're worried about appraisals. They're worried that if you default, they'll be stuck with a metal building they can't sell. This is why you need a completely different financing strategy in 2026. The construction to permanent loan. Your primary weapon, here's the game changer. A construction to permanent loan, also called a single close or one-time close loan, combines your construction financing and your permanent mortgage into one loan with one closing. This is the secret weapon for Barndominium financing in 2026, and here's exactly how it works. Phase 1 is the construction phase, which typically lasts 12 to 18 months. During this time, the lender releases money to your builder in stages called draws. You only pay interest on the amount that's been drawn, not the full loan amount. So if your total loan is $350,000, but you've only spent $50,000 on the foundation and framing, you're only paying interest on that $50,000. This keeps your monthly payments manageable while you're likely still paying rent or a mortgage somewhere else. Here's the critical advantage. You lock in your permanent mortgage rate before you even break ground. In 2026, with interest rates still fluctuating, this is massive. Most lenders offer extended rate locks of 12 to 24 months for a fee of about 0.25 to 0.50% of the loan amount. That means if rates spike during your build, you're protected. Once your building inspector gives you a certificate of occupancy, the loan automatically converts to a traditional 15 or 30-year mortgage. No second application, no second closing, no second set of fees. You're saving $8,000 to $15,000 in duplicate closing costs right there. Single close vs. two close. The real difference. Let me break down your two main options because this is where people get confused. Single close construction to permanent is one loan, one closing, one set of fees. You apply once, close once, and the construction loan automatically converts to your mortgage when the build is done. This is your best option in 2026 for Barndominiums because it eliminates requalification risk. Once you're approved, you're approved. Even if your financial situation changes during construction, the permanent loan is already locked in. Two closed construction loans are two separate loans. First, you get a short-term construction loan, typically 12 months, that's interest only. When construction is done, you have to apply for a completely new mortgage to pay off the construction loan. This means two applications, two closings, two sets of fees, and here's the killer. You have to requalify. If your income changed, if your credit score dropped, if the appraisal comes in low, you could get denied for the permanent mortgage even though your Barndominium is already built. That's a nightmare scenario. For Barndominiums, single close is almost always the better choice because it removes uncertainty. The draw schedule. How money actually flows, understanding the draw schedule is critical because this controls your cash flow during construction. Here's how it works in 2026. Your lender divides the construction into milestones. Typical draw schedule looks like this. Draw 1 at 15 to 20% for foundation and site work. Draw 2 at 25 to 30% for framing and shell. Draw 3 at 40 to 50% for rough-ins like electrical, plumbing, and HVAC. Draw 4 at 70 to 80% for insulation, drywall, and interior finishes. And final draw at 100% when you get the certificate of occupancy. After each milestone is completed, an inspector from the lender comes out to verify the work. Once approved, the lender releases that portion of funds to your builder. You start paying interest on that new amount immediately. Here's the trap most people fall into. If your builder works faster than expected, your loan balance increases faster, which means your interest payments jump faster. Always keep a 10% cash buffer outside your loan to handle surprise costs like soil testing failures or steel price increases that the bank won't cover in the original loan amount. Interest-only payments. The math you need to know. During construction, you're making interest-only payments. Let me show you real numbers so you understand what you're actually paying. Let's say you have a $400,000 construction loan at 7% interest. After your first draw of $60,000 for foundation and site prep, your monthly interest payment is about $350. After your second draw brings your balance to $140,000, your payment jumps to about $817 per month. By the time you've drawn $250,000 for the shell and rough-ins, you're paying roughly $1,458 monthly in interest only. This is pure interest with no principal reduction. It's what I call dead money. The faster you complete construction, the less you waste on construction interest. A build that takes 18 months versus 12 months costs you thousands in extra interest payments. Plan your timeline aggressively but realistically. The appraisal problem and how to solve it. This is where most Barndominium loans die, so pay close attention. The appraisal gap is real, and it's killed more deals than bad credit. Here's the scenario. You're building a $400,000 Barndominium with high-end finishes, spray foam insulation, and custom features. The appraiser shows up and can only find standard stick-built homes nearby that sold for $280,000 to $320,000. The bank will only lend based on the appraised value, not your construction cost. If the appraisal comes in at $320,000, but you need $400,000, you have to come up with that $80,000 gap in cash or kill the project. How do you prevent this? Create what I call a property pack for your appraiser. Don't leave it up to them to find comps. Do the work yourself. Find every Barndominium, pole barn home, or high-end metal building that sold within 20 miles in the last 18 months. Include the sale price and cost per square foot. Add photos showing quality finishes. Include your steel building kit specifications and energy efficiency ratings from your spray foam insulation. The goal is to prove to the appraiser that your Barndominium is a high-quality permanent residence, not a converted shed. Give them the data they need to justify a higher valuation. I've seen this strategy add $50,000 to $100,000 to appraisals by simply providing better comps. Lender types. Where to actually apply, not all lenders are created equal for Barndominium financing. Here's where to focus your energy in 2026. Local and regional banks are your best bet. They understand rural construction and have more flexibility than national lenders. They've likely financed Barndominiums before in your area. Start here first. Farm credit unions and agricultural lenders understand metal buildings because they finance farm structures all the time. If your property is in a rural area, these lenders get it. They won't blink at steel construction. Credit unions in general offer more flexibility and better customer service than big banks. They make decisions locally, not at some corporate headquarters 3 states away. Specialized construction lenders exist specifically for non-traditional builds. They cost slightly more in fees and interest, but they'll approve projects that big banks won't touch. Avoid the big national banks for Barndominium construction unless you're working with a specific construction loan department. The retail branch can't help you, and you'll waste weeks getting passed around. Government-backed options, FHA, VA, just if you qualify for government-backed loans, these can be powerful options in 2026. FHA one-time close construction loans allow down payments as low as 3.5% if your credit score is 580 or higher. The property must meet FHA minimum property standards, which barndominiums can if they're built correctly on permanent foundations. The challenge is finding an FHA-approved lender who will finance barndominiums in your area. Not all will. VA construction loans offer zero down payment for eligible veterans and service members. Same challenge as FHA. The property must meet VA minimum property requirements, and you need a lender willing to work with barndominiums. These exist, but they're less common. USTA loans offer zero down in eligible rural areas. Since most barndominiums are built in rural locations, this is often a perfect fit. USTA lenders are generally more comfortable with alternative construction because they finance agricultural properties regularly. Check the USTA eligibility map to see if your property qualifies. Credit score and down payment requirements. Let's talk minimums. For conventional construction to permanent loans, you're looking at a minimum credit score of 680 to 700 for competitive rates. Some lenders will go down to 640 but expect higher fees. Down payment requirements typically run 20 to 25% for construction loans. This is higher than the 3 to 5% you'd put down on an existing home because construction carries more risk. If you can bring 25% down, you'll get better terms and more lender options. Your debt-to-income ratio needs to be under 43%, ideally under 36%. Lenders calculate this based on the permanent mortgage payment, not the construction interest-only payment. Make sure you can actually afford the permanent payment once the loan converts. The builder requirement trap. Here's something that catches people off guard. Most lenders require a licensed general contractor with a proven track record. If you plan to be an owner-builder and do the work yourself, many national lenders will reject your application outright. If you want to self-build, target small local credit unions or specialized farm credit lenders who understand the rural sweat equity model. They're more likely to approve owner-builder projects, but you'll need detailed plans and a realistic budget. Even if you hire a builder, the lender will want to see their credentials, insurance, previous projects, and financial stability. A builder who's completed multiple barndominiums is gold. A builder doing their first one raises red flags. Documentation you need. When you apply for a construction to permanent loan, here's what lenders want to see. Detailed architectural plans or engineered building plans, a complete materials list with costs, a contractor's bid or detailed budget breakdown, proof of land ownership or a purchase agreement, your personal financial documents including tax returns, pay stubs, and bank statements, proof of insurance for the construction phase, and a timeline for completion. The more organized and professional your package, the faster your approval. Lenders want to see that you've thought this through, not that you're winging it. Final tips for 2026 success. Here's what actually works right now. Apply with multiple lenders simultaneously. Don't wait for one rejection before moving to the next. Construction loan approvals can take 30 to 60 days, so run parallel processes. Get pre-approved before you buy land. You need to know your budget, and that financing is possible before you tie up money in property. Build a contingency fund of at least 10% of your total budget outside the loan. Construction always costs more than planned. Choose builders who've worked with your lender before if possible. Established relationships speed up the draw process and reduce friction. Plan for payment shock when your loan converts. Your permanent mortgage payment will be significantly higher than your construction interest payments. Make sure you can actually afford it. In conclusion, financing a barndominium in 2026 isn't about begging traditional lenders to understand your vision. It's about using the right loan structure, targeting the right lenders, and preparing your application to eliminate their concerns before they even ask. The construction to permanent single close loan is your weapon of choice. The appraisal gap is your biggest threat, so control it with a solid property pack. And the lenders who get barndominiums are out there. You just have to know where to look. If you found this helpful, make sure you're subscribed because I'm dropping more detailed breakdowns on barndominium costs, builders, and strategies every single week. Drop a comment below if you have questions about your specific financing situation, and I'll do my best to point you in the right direction. Now go get that loan approved and start building.